Was good? Was good? All zero people. I'm just starting. I didn't announce I was going live, so no one missed it. No one missed an announcement. No one missed a notification. No one missed a warning. I didn't know I was going live. I just decided to jump on because I had some free time. In general, I will announce it, but today I just didn't because I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't want to commit myself and then not get to do it. So I just didn't say anything. Um, I wanted to go a little bit earlier tonight too, because I normally jump on at 10:30, 11:30. So a lot of people be needing to go to sleep. They got Saturday work, a lot of stuff be going on. So I wanted to give people who are generally a little bit too tired or a little bit too busy a chance to talk, a chance to communicate just in case they've been missing lives because they've been so late. So I know it's not much earlier, but an hour does make a difference for a lot of people. I used to work third shift. I know. Um, a lot of people about to go into work. So again, what's going on? What's going on? Nana Powers, Stephanie 01, Maria Washington, Pamela Taylor, Life of Bambi, Serena Paulson, Angel Bart, Queen of Trades, Christina Lewis, Dana Francis, AI Miracles, and Creative Raven. Love and respect. Thank you so much for joining the chat, for joining the conversation. What's going on, Creative Raven? Hi, big brother. Hi, everyone. What's up? What's up? What's up? If while I got you here, if you haven't seen today's video, most of you haven't because it has almost no views. I don't know, maybe the thumbnail's ugly or something. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on. Let me. I just lost my screen for a minute. All right. I don't know if the thumbnail is ugly. I don't know why, but almost nobody has watched the video I put up a couple of hours ago. It's actually very, very valuable information in that. It's talking about the exclusive video. Somebody asked me a very good question about a rebuttal that you might get from a man if you refuse to go exclusive with him because he doesn't believe in titles. And so I gave a very specific answer and some directions to how to approach a man when he's pushing back against the standard of not going exclusive with him without a title. And so please go watch that video. A lot of times YouTube doesn't share my videos if it looks like regular viewers aren't interested in. So if there are 1,000 people or 5,000 people who are regular viewers who watch damn near everything or who watch enough stuff on a regular basis, and then they don't watch, even if it's a good video that can help a lot of people, YouTube won't even push the video because my regular viewers aren't interested in it, and YouTube doesn't know what the hell to do with it at that point. So if you are a regular viewer, please go watch tonight's video. Just see what I'm saying in it. Don't assume you know. That will be helpful. Even so, welcome everybody. Let me see. Y'all know how it goes. Start throwing your questions. I'll answer what I can while I'm on here. Not sure how long I'll be on here, but I wanted to get this out the way earlier so I could watch TV and chill and catch up on some TV shows. It's my last week off. Um, Thank you, Pamela Taylor. She said, I saw it. Yeah, most people didn't. So if they ain't here, yeah. Creative Raven says she didn't get a notification. If you don't get your notifications, it's one of two things. Either you forgot to check your notification bell on my channel, and or you checked your notification bell, but you didn't check your settings and allow YouTube to send you notifications. I looked at my analytics, and YouTube tells me out of the 57,000 people who have checked their notification bell on my channel, about 27,000 of them haven't told their phones, actually about 34,000 haven't told their phones through settings that it's okay for YouTube to send notifications. And then a lot of people complain about not getting notifications is because they haven't set in their settings on their phone. So that's why you probably didn't get your notification. And or you never watch my uploads when they're fresh. If you don't watch my uploads when they're fresh, YouTube starts to track your patterns and be like, oh, you're not interested in that. We're not going to bother you with it. So that could be a thing too. Love and respect for everyone who's joined us, who's watching. I appreciate you guys. Let's jump right into this. Angela Barr says it's my first time catching it live. Just got home from work. Yeah, usually I'm a little bit later. Pamela says my point was valid. I appreciate that. We'll do when I'm finished here. Thank you, Creative Raven. Just finished watching it. I appreciate that. Yeah, that video is going to be a flop. that video is going to probably have like 3,000 views when it's all said and done, because YouTube doesn't know who to send it to if my normal viewers don't watch it. And it wasn't meant to be some big video. It was a rebuttal to a question. So I was revisiting a topic. So I didn't expect it to do a lot. But a lot of people joined that first video, and it's probably valuable information for those of you who did watch the exclusive video. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Nana Power says, I have a touchy situation I want help with. Well, ask away, Nana. I'll start with the questions that are here. Maria Washington, how do you stop asking for validation? I feel like I come off as a desperate or unsure. I feel like I come off as desperate or unsure of myself, and I don't like men looking at me like that. I have bad anxiety and don't always know to be nice. Well, that's a few different questions. So how do you stop asking for validation? I suppose you validate yourself. You do what you're proud of. You make sure you always feel like you look nice. Wear things that you feel complement your body and your look. Dress in ways that you can be proud of. Do things that you can be proud of. Get the validation from yourself, and don't assume for whatever reason that because a person's not saying something about something that they should be, you want them to notice that they haven't noticed it. A lot of times people are not giving you validation because they don't themselves don't want to be vulnerable to it, right? Some people have issues sharing you know, compliments and things of that nature, and it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them not wanting to feel like they're ass kissing and needing to feel important enough in their own right, not to need to give people validation. So there's always two sides of that coin. Even so, be proud of yourself, what you're wearing, what you're doing, who you are, and how you're acting, and you won't need people's validation as much. But if you have a self-esteem issue, you have to get to the root of that problem, and me just giving you some quick live advice won't do that. Um, Even so, you said you feel like you feel like you come off desperate and unsure of yourself. That's because you're doing things you're unsure of. Give yourself permission to fail and suck at shit, especially dealing with people in public, especially dealing with people in social situations. Maybe you're not a social butterfly. Maybe you're not socially gifted. Maybe you have social anxiety, right? Knowing your limits, knowing where you shine, and operating within those limits, and operating within those skill sets that you have. If you feel desperate and unsure of yourself, it's probably because the conversation topic is something that you're normally not very passionate about or very knowledgeable about, right? Talk about more things that you're knowledgeable about if you feel like you look desperate and unsure around men, people in general. Bring the conversation back to your expertise so that you can speak with your chest and speak with confidence. That's one thing. Also, again, you know, wear things that you feel good in. Don't overdress and then be adjusting yourself the whole night because you think you overdid it or underdid it. Right? Work within your comfort, especially as it pertains to the social environments and social situations. But needing validation and feeling unsure of yourself are often two different issues. Everyone feels at some point unsure of themselves, but most people um, also feel like they need validation. But the constant need for validation and feeling unsure of yourself in social environments are two different issues. Um, and you don't like men looking at you like that. That's because you don't feel like you look your best, and you're uncomfortable with male attention because you don't know what it means. That's again that confidence. So what are you wearing? What is your style saying to you, first of all, and then saying to the room? What type of attention are you getting? What type of attention are you attracting? Whom are you attracting? Those things matter. um, and you have, if you have bad anxiety, again, counseling helps anxiety. You know, some of those tools and some of those utilities, working through those anxieties would help you much more than just random dating advice. But you know, there's always a place you can start, and I would start with trying to get counseling for my anxiety, or taking some some what do I take when I'm anxious? Not melatonin, magnesium. Magnesium helps some people. Maybe try that if you find you're always anxious. There's a lot of other hippie shit that you can do, a lot of other supplements. I'm just not one of those. But I talked to a few herbalists, they've talked about some. Let's jump into something else. Somebody says, Nana had some great questions last time. Just saying, girl. Well, we don't hear from her. Um, Peace and love. Somebody says, Nana Power says she has a touchy situation she wants help with. Well, we're gonna try to get to that today. Um, don't worry, I watch the videos, love. I appreciate that, Lady G. Creative Raven said, I got a notification for this though. Yes, so if you didn't get a notification for today's video, but you got a notification for this, it's because YouTube's assuming that nobody wants to watch the video, and YouTube doesn't know how to categorize it because it's just not one of those popular search topics. So that's why YouTube doesn't know who to give it to, and they don't honor their own notification system a lot of times, unfortunately, especially if a lot of people aren't watching. YouTube sends a video out to 1,000 people or 2,000 people. If half of them don't watch, then they only send a video to a quarter more people. Like they make sure they only send enough recommendations out that are returning a view at a certain percentage. So that's kind of what happens when a video flops. It's like if your audience doesn't watch it, we're not sending it out to a new audience. No one's going to discover this thing. It's going to die. And that's kind of how YouTube does. And they used to didn't do like that. They gave everything a fair shot. Now they don't seem to do that. Um, and again, I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know why you might not have gotten a notification. It's flopping, but it's a good video and it's valuable. And if you're looking for help trying to maintain a relationship or build a relationship with the man who's saying he wants to be exclusive, but he doesn't believe in titles or he's not ready for a title, then that's very good information for you and it's valuable for you and you should be looking into it. Okay. Somebody says, okay. Let me see. Okay, somebody said, we're just waking up in Australia, receive this and watch that. Okay, cool. How do you let go of a situationship when there's no beef? You're very loving toward each other, but your goals are different. I think if something's not serving you, you have to be willing to walk away, no matter how nice a person is about not serving you, no matter how nice and cordial you are about not serving each other. You just have to be willing to walk away. You don't need a catalyst or a conflict to walk away from things. And I think that the majority of women who have issues walking away from toxic men or toxic relationships or being toxic themselves with a person, the majority of these people who have issues closing out these situationships are waiting for some catalyst, waiting for some beef. And unless you're a very you know aggressive or like volatile person, unless you are willing to betray a person, unless you lack loyalty, a lot of people aren't compatible and create toxic environments, but they aren't easy to hate. They're not easy to be mad at. They're way too easy to get along with. They're way too simple. They're way too peaceful and calm and docile. So they wait for this catalyst, this blow up to get upset at each other. So it makes it easier to separate, and it never happens. And so they just waste more time with each other. They waste more months, more years with each other because neither of them are of the personality temperament to cause like enough friction to yell, cuss, fuss, and storm out. And so you just have to be willing to walk away. Stop waiting for a catalyst. Stop waiting for a fight. Stop waiting for an argument. Look at that. Look at how you either serve or don't serve each other. Look at how you either are healthy or not healthy for each other. Look at how you are standing in place and blocking the blessings of each other, and just use that. Walk away. You can amicably walk away in peace and still never speak again, or never speak again this year. But to not do that because you're not fighting doesn't make any sense at all. But I understand it because that's how most people stay in long-term situationships that don't serve them. They get along too well. Creative Room says it'll be highly shareable though. Yeah, I think all of my content is shareable. The difference is I think most things that get shared a lot are of a particular type of energy. They're shocking or they're entertaining. My content's not the most shocking, and it's definitely not the most entertaining. It's educational for people who are dealing with concepts outside of the ones they were taught by their parents, their fathers, their brothers, whatever men in their family could have gained them up and didn't. So, I would hope everyone shares it after they watch it. But, for me, I have to put that need down. Otherwise, I get discouraged and I just don't want to make videos. I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna watch it. I can't think of that. I have to remember who I'm helping, and whether that's 2 people or 2 million people, I have to make the content. Um, but yeah, you're right. It's all highly shareable. Um, let me see. Somebody said, um, how to tell if you're becoming non-committal. Pessimism. Pessimism is how you tell. What's up, JC? Respect. Thanks for the moderation in the comments. Um, Pessimism is how you tell you're becoming non-committal, right? When you don't believe anyone is going to give you what you're hoping for. Um, Pessimism when you don't believe in trusting anymore. Pessimism when you don't feel like trying. Pessimism when you've grown weary and well doing, and now you don't want to do well, right? Pessimism when you become the toxic thing that you've been avoiding. Pessimism when you become a fuck girl, right? Maybe I should do another fuck girl video. That was fun. Um, yeah, that's when you're becoming non-committal. When you become emotionally unavailable to men because of what you've been through. And unfortunately enough, because I believe in accountability here, and I believe in a version of equality that makes you accountable for your own decisions, and you're no longer a victim if you've made the same mistake over and over again. Most of the time, when people are becoming non-committal and and women are becoming a lot more pessimistic about relationships, their methodology for finding love has been as heavily flawed as the actions of the men who have played games with them. So most people grow non-committal and grow pessimistic and grow emotionally unavailable, but but almost never after they've attempted to date wisely or make legitimate good decisions. Um, they date within their type until it beats them to a pulp, and then they quit, and then they become non-committal. That's generally what happens. I don't give a damn if you've been dating for 30 years. I've said this over and over. If you've done it wrong, I don't give a damn what you've done. Whatever thing you've done, if you've done it wrong, then you haven't done that thing. If you do anything shitty, wrong, incorrect for 30 years, 14 years, 5 years, you don't get to tell me you have 5 years dating experience, 14 years, 30 years dating experience if you've only dated garbage cans. Right? You don't get to lean on that experience. You've done it wrong, so you haven't actually done it at all. And unfortunately enough, most people haven't done it at all, and then they quit. Um, and that's men and women. The guys running around complaining about what a woman will and won't do, a modern woman is, modern woman that. Those guys haven't dated from a healthy place. They've been chasing big asses and nice breasts for the majority of their existence. And when they didn't get those women, they became bitter. They got money, and then now they can manipulate younger women who haven't established themselves with the trinkets that they finally earned in their 30s. Um, Still never really knowing healthy love, and now trying to grab a podcast microphone and teach everybody about relationships, believe it or not. Um, Somebody says, my friend and I bonded through tragedy. A lot of people do. My brother was shot and killed, mine as well. His sister has cancer. We leaned on each other and talked often until 2 a.m. I like him. He says he's not happy with his girlfriend. What to do? You can't do a damn thing until he decides he's unhappy enough to break up with that woman. You do not want to start as an accessory. You do not want to start as a third wheel. You do not want to start as a side chick, because once you do, once you put that guard down, once you put that standard on the ground, every woman that I know, and every one of my clients, and I have more than a few right now, who have unwittingly become the side woman. And with all their standards and with all their training and with all the talks, they have not listened to me when I told them back away from the involved man, make him make a decision, make him make a choice. They do not do that. They try to stay close enough yet so far away that they can't say that they're the side woman because they don't have sex, but they're emotionally cheating with this man. And they know that an emotional cheating for women is far worse than men, and so they're encouraging this man to emotionally cheat with them through these accessory relationships. That because they're not having sex, they think, okay, well, we're not doing much wrong, but they're wrong. They're as wrong as a woman would be if she was emotionally cheating with their man. So for me, what to do, make him make a decision. If he's not happy, then he needs to do something about it. Unfortunately enough, most of the time, men will say they're not happy with a woman, but they're never not happy enough to break that mold, or to burn that bridge, or to cut that string. And until he's willing to do that, he hasn't chosen you. He's chosen her. Every night he goes home to her, he's chosen her. Every time he bangs her, he's chosen her. Every time he tells her he loves her, he's chosen her. Every time he just pretends that you don't exist when he gets home, he's chosen her. So don't be mistaken about where you stand in his life. At the moment, you are the accessory, you are the side. And if you want more and he's capable of giving you more, I know people meet under different circumstances. I know people are disenchanted. I know it's not as easy as, or as simple as, right and wrong. I know some of these areas get very gray, but if you want this man and this man wants you, then he's going to have to make a decision and not be cheating on a woman with you, and let things get too complicated until you're just on the whole love triangle kick. I just think that that's foul for you and for him. So whether or not that girl is good or not is really none of your business. Most of the time, a man will underplay his relationship. He will downplay the closeness and the intimacy built in his relationship. He will upplay all of the woman's flaws, and he will tell you that that woman is a devil, just so you don't have any guilt about talking to somebody else's man. And once he tells you how shitty his relationship is, you think you're saving him with the opportunity to talk to you, to have sex with you, to kiss you, to hold you, to spend emotional time with you. You think you're saving him from this terrible relationship that he's expressed he has. But most of the time, men are up playing the issues in their relationship so that you aren't guilty about spending emotional time with them and emotional cheating until you become a physical asset as well. So I don't never trust. I never trust what a person says about how terrible the relationship is if they're looking at me as the next person. Like if you were just some random girl he would never date and he was telling you his relationship was shit, then I would believe it. But if you're the one he wants to be with, or the next one he wants to be inside, you can't believe a word he says about how terrible the relationship is. Y'all can vibe on the brother tragedy. Again, my brother was shot and killed when I was 13 too. So, I got that wake up call at 6:02 in the morning. So I'm with you there, but y'all can bond on that other tragedy stuff. Even though you Charlotte probably shouldn't, he should be going to his woman, but you have no business really even being in his presence or space, simply because you're the next up. You can't trust what he says about how terrible his relationship is. And if he'll vent to you about his relationship, he'll vent to someone else about you once you're not what he wants you to be or hope to be. So I hope that helps. Um, Somebody says, I got a question for you. Why do guys show interest and want you to be a bit flirty with them on text, and the minute you do, they ghost? Like, do guys define that as the reason not to respect you? No, guys like to be chased. Not all guys. The type of guy that's playing these types of games, modern men, they want to be chased. They want to play leverage games. So they poke at you and poke at you and poke at you, and as soon as you show that you're intrigued, they disappear. They go ghost. Y'all have to really start thanking these men for the distance that they give y'all, because it reveals everything you need to know about what he wants from you. If I'm truly interested in you, I think you're smart. I think you're intelligent. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I respect your wisdom. I respect your mind. I'm curious about your thoughts, your beliefs, your passions, your principles. I'm not gonna send you a flirty text, and as soon as you send me a flirty text back, stop talking to you, ghost or disappear until I'm poking at you again, trying to be flirty and sexy. If I see value in you as a human being, and I understand the value of a partner, right? And most people giving dating advice and the dating conversation don't understand partnership. So we're having a lot of conversations about money, dick size, and booty size, but nobody understands partnership. Everybody giving terrible advice because they haven't been in healthy relationships. But if I believe in partnership and I understand the value of partnership and I know what I need from a partner and I see those things in you, I'm not going to poke at you, flirt with you, and be sexual with you, and then as soon as you give me that reciprocation, disappear, because that's not my motivation, right? I want to banter with you. I want to pick that up because it's fun. It needs to be a part of our relationship. But I'm not going to disappear as soon as you give me that validation, because that's just a portion of what I want from you. When a man does that, respect it. Allow him to show you exactly what he is and who he is and what he wants. And that distance tells you everything you need to know. Him ghosting you tells you everything you need to know. Him being mum on the text messages and disappearing for days at a time, taking 2 and 3 days to respond back, not responding back for a week, disappearing, talking about he's busy at work. All of those things tell you exactly what you need to know. How many of us, it's weird to me, all of us are adults. We're all adults. Most of us have jobs or careers. How many adults do you know don't have time to send a damn text message for days at a time to one individual that they're supposed to be interested in? We all have jobs. It's 179 people here right now. Out of the 179 of us, even some of us are lifesavers. I'm sure that's about 17 doctors, because I get a lot of doctors. But let's say it's 7 doctors. Even the doctors can sit on the toilet, take a shit, and text somebody back. You're never that busy, right? So when people tell me they're busy, and they're oh man, work got me swamped. I don't know what jobs these are, but because I know business owners, I know physicists, I know nuclear scientists, I know rocket scientists. I know a lot of different very busy people with important jobs, and I can tell you I've never met one person who was too busy to send a text message after chewing on a couple bites of food or sitting on the toilet. Like, it's not that damn serious. So when a person, oh, thank you, Joanne, for the super chat. I'm not sure what unit of measure that is. NZ. I don't know what an NZ is, but I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2 super chat, and it says work. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so yeah, like we all have these people that we text and we give them that attention finally, and then they disappear. Like all they wanted was our validation, and they got it, and they're gone. Just respect that. Let people have that. You want people to run away from you. You want people to walk away from you. You want people to reject you who didn't have anything planned for you. It's the best thing they could have done. So don't even try to figure it out. Just accept the information and never speak to them again. Um, Let me see. Yeah, so somebody seconded me on magnesium. They said magnesium is great. Yeah, it helps me with my anxiety from time to time. I'm not gonna start. L-theanine or theanine. That's good too. Appreciate you. Y'all dropped the herbal anxiety medicines, herbal anxiety remedies in the box. I'm not gonna be able to read all them weird names, but we're gonna do it. Lavender. Oh, ashwagandha. I do ashwagandha. Ashwagandha works too. That's solid. Um, Trishanda says, same. I got a notification for this, but rarely on your other ones. Yeah, YouTube it just hasn't been really sending out my notifications. That I get that way too often. If you look at the notification bell, you might have just selected notification sometimes, notification occasionally. You have to say notification always too. That's another thing. There are 3 notification settings before you tell your phone that YouTube is okay notifying you. So you got to put always so you get all of the videos instead of just sometimes. If your notification bell is set for sometimes, then when I'm having a popular video, YouTube will then notify you if the video is doing well that I have a new video, but only if the video is doing very popular. So you got to be very careful that your notification setting isn't sometimes or occasionally. Um, Somebody said, my boyfriend of 2 years broke up with me a month ago, and I didn't take him. Seriously because he always breaks up with me or threatens to. We live together, and I asked him if he was seeing anyone. Um, you got to let that man go. If a man's always breaking up with you, or always threatening to break up with you, and you ain't got no kids by him, please move on. Move on before you're stuck with a guy who's stuck with you and doesn't want to be around you but is forced to. Please move on. No man should be telling you all the time when he gonna break up with you and threatening you and blackmailing you with the relationship and holding it over your head so that you act right and like that's If you aren't the woman he needs to be with, he needs to leave you alone. If y'all not compatible, you need to leave him alone. But y'all ain't got no business even trying to save that shit if he's always breaking up with you and always threatening to. Y'all live together, the shit didn't work out, y'all not compatible, y'all need to move on. Um, it don't matter if he's seeing somebody because clearly, if he's your boyfriend of 2 years and he doesn't have a better skill set built for handling issues than threatening to break up with people and doing the on again off again shit while you got to come home to the same person. If he's not no better at handling his relationship issues than threats and blackmail, emotional blackmail, I don't think that y'all need to be together for real. And who gives a damn if he's seeing somebody else? He's eventually going to get tired of doing the work and do the same with that person. Um, that's a skill set, a relationship skill set. It doesn't appear that he or you have the skill set to uh, function at least as a unit. You might have the skill set that's good enough for other people if you find other people, but you two together don't y'all don't got what it takes together, unfortunately. And if you're not taking him seriously, he's probably breaking up with you because he doesn't get taken seriously. That feels emasculating. So that's another thing. And I don't know why he's always mad. So you could be doing something despicable. I'm not sure. And I'm not assuming you are. I'm just saying he seems to be pissed off at something that he's not getting a resolution on. So um, that's one of those things. And again, thank you again, Joanne, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Somebody said, okay, I'm going to watch every single video from now on. I appreciate that. Listen, I really do. Even if you don't need the video, just click on the video, watch the video, mute it. I don't give a damn. Just watch it. Because if you don't, then YouTube will say, oh, okay, we suggest this guy's videos. You don't watch them, we're not going to buy you with this shit anymore. You don't even have to say not interested. You don't have to click that little button and tell them stop sending me the notifications. You don't have to do nothing. YouTube watches your patterns. They watch what you look at on YouTube, and then they give you more of that. Even if all of your subscriptions are about basketball, if you haven't watched a basketball video in 2 weeks and then the basketball video comes up and you don't watch that, YouTube says we try to show her basketball. Maybe she's not into that anymore. They're going to show you soccer. They're going to show you knitting and pottery. They're not going to show you basketball, even though all of your subscriptions are basketball based. That's just how YouTube works. It's an AI system, so they're trying to guess and predict what will keep you on YouTube. So they're not going to predict or give you anything that you haven't been watching habitually lately, unless you go looking for it and you seek it out. And that's how a person can have a bunch of subscribers and have almost no views. A person had like 1 million subscribers and be having the same amount of views I got with a third of those subscribers. It's because if a person just watches a different news cycle for a week, YouTube's going to put their subscriptions down and they'll let those channels just wither away with no subscribers, even though 1 million people are technically interested. They're not going to show those 1 million people. You got to go tell YouTube every day what you're interested in. Unfortunately, let me see. Somebody says, "I'm done dating nothing but players and guys who play games, taking a huge break." We were talking about emotional unavailability earlier. We were talking about people getting pessimistic, kind of quitting. And there's a lot of guys who play games. There's a lot of that, but I will say that majority of men are definitely not men who have options, and so at some point, women, they have to figure out how to accept love from the different array of men instead of just players. Players, literally one type of men. It might be 20% of men, and then everybody else is looking for a girlfriend, can't find one because they're not the guy with options. So it'd be like that sometimes. Um, Jordan Tracy saying he said no, he lied to me for a month, then sends me a picture of him sleeping with his ex. Oh yeah, y'all just got some toxic shit going on. Y'all just never speak to that person again. We don't even gotta get into that. Just never speak to that person again. Nobody's going out of their way to hurt someone that they care about. Um, that's just not how that works. That's not how love works. That's just somebody being vindictive and nasty and manipulative. And they know they can get that off with you because you take them way too seriously and don't take yourself seriously enough. Um, so y'all both got to do better, and you got to get away from that person. Um, Sans Virgin, love and respect. Hi, Kev. Question. I'm in love with a man and we're doing long distance. I've tried to let go of the situation, but we keep reaching back out to each other. I'm not sure what to do with the feeling still there. If you don't have any feasible way to be in the same location and to move to the same place and function in ways that don't make you want to break up, then there's nothing to hold on to. It would sound like that you'd like to break up, or you're not being satiated, you're not being fulfilled in this relationship. It's long distance. You probably want to just, have more proximity, be able to touch somebody, make love, hold hands, watch a movie together, those types of things. But you can't because it's long distance, and you're probably like everyone else, long distance, losing enthusiasm, not getting on the phone as much, not finding new things to talk about, not having new shared experiences that keep the relationship interesting. You just get on the phone. What'd you do today? I ate some pizza and had chocolate milk. Oh, what you do today? I went to work. My boss is a bitch. Oh, that's what's up. Oh, and then you're done. Now you don't know what to talk about. I'll call you back later. That's not a relationship. I'm sorry. Y'all pen pals. And if you don't get to a place where you can move, and you don't know when you could feasibly move at just or feasible time when you can move, it's not realistic, then you just have to let it go and avoid doing damage to each other. That way, if you do happen to ever be in the same place, you haven't damaged each other and there's no betrayal in your past, so you can start a relationship from the place of being in the same place, and there's no damage or reason why you can't give each other a legitimate chance in person in the future. So that's what I would do. You got to cut it off, but I can't tell you how to cut it off. You just got to be willing to cut it off. And I can't give you strength. I can't give you, like my basketball coach said, I ain't the wizard. I can't give you heart. I can't give you courage in this moment to move away from the familiar. You got to do that. Somebody says, I have a friend that suddenly told me about a lady friend, and the next day asked me why I was being short, wanting to know how I felt. Um, I'm sure they know now. If you're short after I tell you about a girl I like and we're supposed to be homies, then I know that you have a problem with me liking somebody because maybe your feelings aren't as much friendly as they are romantic. Shauna Turner, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. She said sending some appreciation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. YouTube doesn't tell people if you do 199 or a $2 super chat, YouTube won't highlight it at the top like it does other stuff, but I appreciate it. So my wife always sends me super chats that I might miss just because I'm in the comment section looking for questions and I might not see the notification, but I really appreciate that. Thank you, Shauna. Um, mhm. I once told a guy, it's not you, it's me. And it's because I was done and he was still being him. But I was ready to move on, and that's just what I did. Okay, well, yeah, however you got to move, you got to move. Don't stand in place if things aren't serving you or you're not serving things. Right? It's mutual. Um, Agreed. Uh, how you know someone? How you know someone into you? Hazel Terry, how do you know someone's into you? They give you their time and attention. Put simply, you ask it in a simple way. I give you the simple answer. They give you their time and attention, and not just sexual attention, spiritual attention, their intellectual attention, um, their goodwill, grace, empathy, support, those things. Just find your channel, and I've been enjoying your content. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, should a guy pay for the first date or the woman? Always the guy pay for the first date. If you date a guy that is not willing to pay for the first date, you don't. I don't think you should be on a date. I could dig. I'm not mad at a free date if you just go to a park or something like that. Go do something free. But if money needs to be exchanged, the man needs to be in a position to pay for the first date. And men who aren't in a position to pay for the first date, or who for whatever reason ransom that first date off, or think that either get makes them lose power, or it's a waste of money or a waste of time to take a woman on a date. Those men are counting their pennies. I don't know a man who has a couple nickels to rub together, upset that he had to buy two extra chili dogs or an extra burger or an extra slice of pizza, or wherever you find yourself, an extra steak. I don't know men who, like, you were going to eat anyway. You literally just, like, I'm not about to do that with y'all. Y'all, if a man can't pay for a meal without bitching about it, you are going to have a hell of a time getting that man to support you as a partner. And he probably ain't got two nickels to rub together. So what's the point? And that's not about being 50-50 or anything like that. That's he's not doing well if he's mad at wasting money on a date. Most of those guys are looking for sex at the end of a date because they spent $17 on some fucking food. Don't fuck nobody for $17 worth of food. Yeah, never let no man make you pay for no date. If you pay for yourself, that should be the last time you see his raggedy ass. Excuse my French or my English. Anyway, um, the guy I'm dating, listen to this. The guy I'm dating has 5 kids by 4 women. I have no children yet. Is that a red flag? Yes, it's a red flag. Stop dating that guy. Why would you date a guy with 5 kids by 4 different women? He can't possibly be serving all of those kids same. He can't possibly be giving those kids what they need. He can't possibly be an active father in all of their lives. And those women can't possibly have the security that he's always going to be there. If we've seen anything from this man is that he's flighty. We've seen anything from this man is that he breaks commitment. 5 kids by 4 different women. This is the type of shit that people be talking about when they don't understand, or when they're upset with women not taking responsibility for the result of their dating lives. That love and respect to you, and I'm not trying to come down hard on you, but this is what we're talking about, right? It's literally twice as many women who are parents as there are men who are parents. And that doesn't say that women are more irresponsible or worse off or the problem, but it does say that the women who are having children, of the women who are having children, and not married and not in healthy relationships, most of the women who are, at least half of the women who are having children outside of that like level of security, and they're all getting pregnant by less than about 20% of the men in the population, because 80% of men don't have fucking kids. So whatever the reasoning for those men avoiding that responsibility of children is their own thing. But most women are sharing one baby daddy with 3 other women. That's ridiculous. If you meet a man and he has multiple children and he hasn't given those other women security, what makes you think you're different? Yes, yes, it's a red flag. You should never talk to him again. But you got to figure out what's up here, and why you feel okay with that. Why you feel okay with dating a man who's spreading his seed so damn thin, and probably his money too, that he doesn't have time to be a father. Um, so deal with that. Like, sit with yourself. That's not a good idea. First of all, thank you for. I got 3 super chats I got to respond to. So again, no disrespect to you, but you tripping right now. Stop that. Stop dating deadbeat daddies, and stop dating many who have too many kids to father. He can never give you what you need if he has that many people spreading him that thin, and all those babies' mamas. It's ridiculous. He's irresponsible with his dick. That's what's wrong with him. More precious than rubies. And y'all, forgive me. I'm not in the mood to be politically correct tonight, so it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough one. My mouth is gonna be on something. If I'm here, I'm just gonna give y'all what I got. Thank you, more precious than rubies. I appreciate your $5 super chat. She said, "Kev, I'm getting discouraged because I'm still single. Any advice? Family trip coming up, and I know they'll give me a hard time about it. Thanks." Um, Thank you again, more precious than rubies, for the super chat. Family trip coming up. You're still single. you know they're going to give you a hard time. Unfortunately enough, I think the dynamic between you and your family has to improve. I think sometimes our family thinks that they're doing us some kind of favor, keeping it real with us, putting us under pressure. It's all fun and games, but they don't realize how hurt you are when you go home and you're single. They don't realize how traumatized you are by answering that question. They don't realize that you have to prepare yourself to be around them energetically because they're doing damage to you by judging you in ways making you feel inadequate for what you've accomplished, what you've done for yourself, and how you've developed your life, just because you don't have their metric of a partner. And while you want a partner for yourself, you need to be working for a partner for yourself. And they need to be outside of that conversation. And unfortunately enough, especially the older women in a lot of our families, just don't respect that boundary because they don't give women the grace that they needed when they were children and when they were teenagers or they were young adults. And a lot of them come from a different era where they were getting married a lot sooner and things of that nature. And it was better for people who were looking for relationships then to a degree. But some of those women were in shitty relationships on being owned by their husbands. So it wasn't necessarily better. So they come with different a different viewing glass to a degree. And it's not necessarily fair that they're asking you all your business. And so you got to have a real conversation with them about just backing the hell up off of you, or you can't come to the trip. You got to figure out how to be real with your family and get respect. If your family don't respect you and respect that request, then that's a part of the issue because that's your internal voice. Your internal voice are all those people that you have to answer to or listen to the scoffs or the laughs or the jokes. Like that shit is as bad as failing at relationships. It's as bad at is not being able to find somebody to date that's adequate. So it's really important that you shut your family the hell up. And yeah, smile at more men that you find suitable, that you find handsome and attractive. Make more conversation. Create space and opportunity for men to approach you because men don't like to approach women now because there doesn't seem to be a safe space or an appropriate place to do it because of all the hashtags that might pop up anytime a man accidentally tries to talk to a woman in public. So a lot of men are confused and a lot of men are just scared. But because men may be scared or they may be confused, you have to be doing the choosing. And so when you choose a man, you see a man, you like a man, just make conversation with him. Talk about the weather, talk about politics, talk about whatever the hell you're passionate about. And if you start a conversation with a man, he can't just assume that you're on his dick. He might just assume that you're conversationalist. If he likes the conversation and he's attracted to you, then he'll come on to you because you've told him he's welcome because you opened up your energy first. And so that's how you start being more selective and getting more of the types of guys that you're attracted to instead of just waiting for the perfect attractive man to have all these perfect things line up perfectly for him to for him to be attracted to you and approach you. You're gonna too many things have to go well for that to happen. So don't worry so much about that. Create the opportunity for yourself by making sure that you're open with your energy to the men that you would otherwise select. I hope that helps. Careful Calypso, love and respect, cool name. When a man, and thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate your super chat. When a man has a genuine interest, will he make the effort to spend time with you and talk to you? Absolutely. When he has a genuine interest, he wants to know what's in your mind. When he has a genuine interest, he wants to hear your voice. The voice, listen, the two most beautiful sounds in the world to a man is the voice of the woman he's chosen to love or wants to love, and the pleasure hearing the woman receive that same woman receive pleasure. A woman's moans and a woman's voice are a man's two favorite sounds if he wants her, period. And so, yes, he wants to make the effort. He wants to spend time with you. He wants to talk to you. That's how men make themselves vulnerable as they give you the time that they could be giving other things. So, absolutely. Um, So I hope that helps. Sunny Cake, $20. I appreciate the super chat. No question. And if you do have a question, you change your mind, throw one in the comment section. Either a pretty girl or a JC will send the question at me or remind me about the question. But if you have a question later, let me know. And I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Um, Sanja Teal, how you doing, Sanja? She says, Shalom. Please remind your supporters that YouTube is tripping. They unfollowed me from your page again. See what I'm talking about? They keep doing that. Like YouTube keeps playing with my subscribers. So when y'all don't go back and watch the videos, it's like, all right, cool. If you missed a video, we taking that sub. I've been losing all kind of subs this month, and people have been writing me like, bro, I don't know why they keep taking me off your page. like I'm shadow banned or something. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything bad. I think I stayed away from the no words. I don't know what happened, what the hell happened, but yes, YouTube is tripping. If you follow me, you have to hit the notification bells, and you have to just check my channel daily with new content, or join me on Instagram, because on Instagram, 90% of the videos, 95% of the videos I put up, I put the thumbnail on Instagram so that you know it's a new video. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's another way to know that there's new content if you're not getting your notifications. So thank you for that reminder, Chandra. Shane Chester, love and respect. She says, your videos give me confidence and hope. Not long ago, I was pretty certain that I would be single for the rest of my life. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I don't think that anybody has to be single for the rest of their life. Sometimes we have to readjust what we expect. We have to readjust what we're looking for, based on what's appropriate, based on what we learn about ourselves, based on how we evolve, based on what we prioritize. I think that a lot of times we have to switch our priority. A lot of women, have certain priorities with men at first, and then when they realize what's important, love, partnership, companionship, support, cooperation, desire, they stop being so picky about Mr. Perfect, and they get someone who's more proficiently um, planning to love them, and more efficiently pursuing them. And while we always hear this idea of settling, I don't think you can settle for a good partner. I don't believe in that. Yeah, they're not the partner you would have wanted if you had your pick. They're not Beyonce, for the guys who like Beyonce. They're not Nicki Minaj. They're not Cardi B. They're not Megan Thee Stallion. They're not Jennifer Lopez. They're not the fantasy that a man might have in his mind. Or they're not Channing Tatum, if that's your thing, or Keith Sweat. I don't know. Now I'm just naming random man. I'm just, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know who y'all like. I have no idea who y'all like. Chris Tucker, Usher, whoever the hell. They might not be these types of men that you fall all over, but very few of us are with the picture of perfection that we fantasized about when we were teenagers and put posters up in our walls. We have to start prioritizing love and what love looks like in life. And once love becomes the main goal for us to attain, we realize love is much more easy to attain than fantasy. And many of us are still chasing our fantasy person and not chasing a person who we can love, who loves us. Right. So, yes, that might feel like settling to some people, but I don't think you can settle for healthy partnership. I think people settle for bullshit trying to attain the fantasy. Right. You get a very attractive person and you settle for the dumb shit that they do. You settle for the inconvenience of them not being cooperative. You settle for the narcissism. You settle for the abuse. Here's your reminder. Brush Riley's teeth. Thank you, Alexa. Now shut up. How the fuck do I shut off, Alexa? Noah, here is your reminder. Brush Riley's I do not know how to shut off Alexa. Y'all got the wrong one. We're gonna brush Riley's teeth, Alexa. Thank you. I appreciate you. Anyway, so I hope that helps. Uh, I'm glad that my videos are giving you confidence. Figure out what you need intrinsically in a relationship, in a man, in a person, in a human being, in a partner, and you find those qualities and attributes first. And I think that you can find somebody. So I'm rooting for you. Love and respect, Reese, the merciless. Reese L. Black. What's going on, bro? Passing through to put some change in your son's back to school supplies. Oh my God. Back to school supplies. Salute to all the ladies keeping hope for real love. Man, school supplies, I'm good on that, man. I can't believe how much shoes and all that stuff costs today. My son wears a size 2. 2. I swear I picked up some shoes today that was like 120. And they wasn't even like cool shoes. They was just some Nikes. And they was 120. And he wears a 2. And I'm just like, man, these was my shoes just a few years ago. They really getting over with this pandemic garbage. They talking about it's inflation. It's not inflation. It's price gouging. That's what it is. So I appreciate you, Reese. Thank you for showing love and respect to your boy. Yeah, we got to get you on the Fatherhood Village, man. We better start ramping up content, and so we want you and Dickie on Fatherhood Village, man. We need to have some conversations about man stuff. Also, hey Reese, I got the shirt. Reese, check us out, Fatherhood Village, man. Check out the merch, man. Get my 30 of them bitches, as Chris Jones said. I know you watch Chris Jones. Anyway, somebody said, should a woman always wait for a man to make it exclusive first? No, I think it's important to have a clear line of communication in what you expect and what you're looking for each other. Um, Too often we worry about who says what first, when a lot of times people are feeling the same way. I mean, think about the first time you told somebody you love them. You remember that? It generally started like a conversation like this. I got something to tell you, but you ain't got to say it back. Who's had that conversation? We've probably all at some point had that conversation, right? A lot of adults still telling each other they love each other like that. I got something to say, but I don't want you to think you need to say it back. And you got to pretend like you don't know what the hell they about to say. Um, don't worry so much about whose idea it is. Make sure that there's an intent to meet that need and meet that standard. That's all I give a damn about. I don't care about saving face, being the first out or the second out, making a man come to you and propose a relationship and then propose a marriage. Like, I don't care about the order of things. I care about the intent of two people to be on the same page, satiate each other's needs, and be there for each other in a way that provides healthy partnership. So no, I don't give a fuck. And forgive me, y'all. I told you I ain't got it in me today. I don't have the diplomacy in me today. So I really do apologize, church folk, for whatever reason. I my damn cup running over today. Um, anyway, I think that we spend too much time worrying about whose job it is to be vulnerable first. If you have the capacity to be vulnerable first, then be vulnerable first. If he has the capacity, let him be vulnerable. If y'all feel the same way, just have the conversation. Hey, I want to make sure we're going in the same we're going in the same direction. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Um, what are you feeling like? I should think about this relationship. This is how I feel about the relationship. Just have the conversation. If you haven't developed the skill set to talk to each other about these difficult and sometimes vulnerable topics, then you still have some growing to do. And it's a great opportunity. It's a great thing. So if you're not in that place, don't kick yourself in the ass. Just start having those conversations and stick a toe into deeper conversations and more vulnerable conversations until you're freely speaking about how you feel for each other instead of waiting for one to break down. I hope that helps. um, Let me see. Now my comment section just jumped, so I don't know what's going on now. Um, Somebody's making a great point. YS, stop wondering if he likes you. Stop and think why you even like him, how he can grow with you. That's an amazing point, and I've said that in numerous videos. So often women are spending time trying to figure out if a guy likes them. And I do the videos because there's a lot of good information to be shared there too. But your biggest concern when you first meet a guy isn't if he should like you, it's if you should like him, or if he likes you, if you should like him, if you have a reason to like him beyond the idea that you have of either a partnership or relationship in general, having a boyfriend in general, or him and the fantasy that you create, imagining all the conversations in the future that you're too afraid to have now. You actually have no basis, no real reason to like a lot of guys, um, but you do simply because you start to accept an idea of them that might not be indicative of the relationship that they provide. My son just knocked some shit over. I can tell. Probably the lamp. I don't know why he always knocked the lamp down. He loved knocking that lamp down. Anyway, um, pretty girl's probably not in the moderating uh, chair right now. Um, Somebody says, what about guys who make mean jokes on the first meetup? Should you let it slide or is it a red flag? It's a red flag. Most of the time, men are testing the boundaries on the first date. A lot of men are testing the boundaries physically. They're trying to put a head on the thigh, put a hand on the leg, put a hand on the knee, put a hand on the ass, try to kiss you on the neck. They're trying to figure out how far you'll let them take it, how much you respect yourself, and or require them to respect you and your boundaries. Um, how serious you take yourself. Um, Whether you're one of those rules girls, right? A lot of guys are, guess what they're calling women with standards, rules girls. If you ever hear that from a man's mouth, just never speak to him again. He's not offering healthy love or healthy relationship or anything like that. Even so, um, when a guy makes mean jokes on the first meetup, he's creating an opportunity for himself to set a bar, to disrespect you, to disregard you, and to create a superior subordinate dynamic where you are itching for his validation from the very beginning. If he starts with mean jokes, then he can only go up from there, right? So now when he says something nice, ooh, he's normally kind of mean, so that must mean something. He's strategically validating and invalidating you to play a lot of games and use a lot of leverage against you to get you to do what he wants you to do. It's like rule number one. It used to be called cocky but funny, to pick up artists, but now they're just saying, how to get in a bitch's head, say this, insult her, see how she responds to it. It's just a test. Stop talking to that man. Like, if somebody says something rude on the first date that is intentional, tell them you gotta go to the bathroom, walk out the damn restaurant, just leave, just leave. Call yourself an Uber, call a friend, go to the bathroom, wait for a ride, just leave. Don't do that. Don't play them games, because he's not going to start respecting you more as he gets more familiar with you. This is what he does with women. So you've seen enough. Moyo Love, she says my dad loves his fatherhood shirt. Nice quality and message. I appreciate that. Yeah. Um, Me and Deshar are very picky about the shirt quality. So if somebody buys a shirt from us, we're not doing it at shrinkable cotton garbage. We always doing blends and things that you could throw in a washer that live on and last for a long time. So if you do buy a shirt from us, I'm not selling any shirt that I can't wear myself, right? And that I don't wear on a regular basis and wouldn't wear on a regular basis. So I have a collection of my own shirts. They're going to be quality if you buy them. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad your dad loves his shirt. Thank you so much for ordering one. Um, Let me see. And if you want a shirt, this one says "Fatherhood Never Stops." We have "Motherhood Never Stops" T-shirts, and also the Parenthood Village is launching here pretty soon. So we have a lot more motherhood themed shirts that oppose or complement our fatherhood themed shirts on the fatherhoodvillage.com. We'll do the Parenthood Village together, and so there will be a lot more parenthood and parent pride merch coming. Tia and Tom, thank you so much for the super chat. Love and respect. It sounds like it's a guy and a lady have a channel together. Some, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to read his question. Maybe it's just different. Um, he told me he was financially stable, but he canceled our last date because he couldn't pay the $40 concert fee. Should I view him as a liar? Or should I be more understanding about his finances? I think that, first of all, when somebody tells you that they're financially stable, they could be telling the truth. What do they define as financially stable? I think we all have a different threshold for that. Um, and things do change, right? Some months financially stable is excuse me, living in abundance, having extra, things just the cup running over. And then other months financially stable is I got a car, I got a place to stay, my bills got paid this month. Make him define financially stable in general. You know what I'm saying? Try, and I don't know if digging into the first date is the best way to do it. I think it raises a red flag for him that, maybe this will be way more transactional than he wants. He might make some assumptions about what you're looking for. Um, but I would just ask a little bit more about his financial situation. But I guess you got all the information you need. If you don't got $40, maybe he's not the level of stable that you were referring to when you said, "Are you financially stable?" So if a guy's on his last $40, he's not he's not what you were looking for. And so I don't think he's a liar. I think I would have at some point when I was younger said I was financially stable. If all my bills were paid, I wasn't having trouble making my bills. I didn't want for anything, and I bought what I want. Um, but I've also had weeks, even when I was younger, that man, damn boy, I needed $20. So that's not financially stable, but times change and car trouble or anything could happen. And, maybe you had $1,000 and you thought you were stable, but now you're down to your last 40. So it just depends. I don't know if he's a liar, but it sounded like he definitely isn't stable in ways that you identify as stable. Um, so I don't know if you should be more understanding. I'm not sure what you do, what type of lifestyle you want. If you believe in a certain level of cooperation and compromise, and um, like certain partnerships, they don't 50-50 is fine. We share bills, we live together, we figure things out together. And then other women want things paid. If he can't pay for a concert, he damn sure can't pay all your bills or any of your bills for that matter. So if that's a priority for you, that's probably not the guy. But no, I wouldn't assume he's a liar. He might just define financially stable as having a good job. He comes from a shitty, drug addicted family, or just some humble beginnings. Not sitting in absolute lack, having enough food in his refrigerator might feel financially stable. Having gas in his car, having a car, like you don't know what the goalpost is for him. So he might not be a liar, but he damn sure ain't got it. Um, mhm. Did I get that? Okay. Um, what about guys makes the? Oh no, no. What? I already answered that question. That was a mean Joe question. This is reminding me of the YBS days, Thanksgiving Ash. Oh yeah, I remember my YBS love days. Yeah, when I had that group. That was a cool little group. That was really nice. I enjoyed that group. It was really expensive to keep up, and it wasn't enough participation to justify all the costs and keeping all those websites up. But it was really cool. I really liked helping people in that way. I still got those YBS videos. Maybe I'll release them one day if I actually my channel actually takes off. Somebody says uh get ready to get a free date. He could be a user. Yeah. You got to worry about men who can't afford the first date. Um, Sometimes that can be a red flag, but not because you want a transactional loving relationship, but because he might be unstable and need a couple dollars, and that's definitely the opposite of a man being the rock. He might be a rock in your shoe or in your pocket. Um, um, Somebody said, I think it's decent that he admitted he didn't have it. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, that's absolutely possible. And somebody else said he may want her to pay for them to go. That's also true. Sometimes men are strategically honest, or tell half truths, or testing you with a lie like that. I've known men who did have it to pretend not to have it to see if a woman would kick in, and then if she didn't, she was a gold digger and all this stuff. But again, if he's doing that and that's his thing, I want you to fail that test anyway, because we don't want to deal with people who are looking for those opportunities to discredit who you are, what you are, and what you have to offer a relationship based on his test. Um, should you date a man who lives week to week on his paycheck? I guess it depends how you live. Most, just to be clear, most Americans, and I don't know what what pay grade you in or what country you in. Excuse me, I'm scratching my leg. But most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So we're gonna be real about this. Everybody gets on in the comment section and starts acting like they all got it, but the majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So that's it depends. Should you date a man who lives week to week? What are his goals? How old is he? How established should he have been at the age he is? If he's in his 40 and he's living week to week on this paycheck, that tells me that he's probably been irresponsible with his money or with his sperm, and because he's probably paying child support, which has him broke like that, or he's a piss poor investor, piss poor financial steward, and he probably lacks ambition. So if he's living this type of lifestyle that you want to live, then sure, if you're okay with that lifestyle and you don't want more, and he doesn't want more, but if he sorry, I must have got bit by a bug outside when I was walking my dog. If you don't want to live a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, I would probably um not date a gentleman, just because you're going to build resentment for him and his lack, especially if you can't relate to it and you live in a different type of lifestyle. He's going to be in your pockets. But I'm not saying he doesn't deserve love because he's broke, because I was broke at one point. Um, I was very, very broke in 2006. Ooh, 2006, I was doing bad. I needed a couple dollars. My it just shit was going down in 2006. So I was very, very, very broke in 2006, and I remember thinking, man, damn boy, hope I don't find a woman who wants me to have something in my pocket, because I damn sure ain't got nothing. Um, and man, I had some shitty jobs. It was just a rough period for me in 2006. And so I can tell you that a man still deserves to be loved, whether or not he has it in his pocket. But we got to figure out where he's supposed to be, what level of poverty he subscribes to in his mind and in his heart. Is poverty is a mindset? Is his mind impoverished? Is he too old for that shit? I think if you in your 40s or 30s, you need to be above paycheck to paycheck. Um, you ain't got no responsibility, especially if you ain't got no kids. What are you doing? So that's one of those things that I always worry about. Is that, are you dealing with a man who's supposed to be beyond it and is piss poor with his money management and piss poor on his job, can't keep a good job? That's a problem. Um, what do you think of men who go on the? Oh, this is a good question. Chelsea Live Line says, "What do you think of men who go on the Kendra G uh, to find women?" The Kendra G show. I've seen her Kendra G show a few times. I like her a lot. Just in general, I just think she's real cool. I don't know her, never met her, but as y'all watch her show, I've seen the clips. She's doing very well. I know she knows Charlemagne. Some she got some connections that I would imagine have helped. But she's done the work. She's really built. She's built her show up, and she's doing well. I don't think anything of those guys. I haven't seen all the episodes. I don't watch her show. I think I got a notification that she was live when I was talking to y'all. Um, I don't know how I got the notification. I don't know why. I don't think I selected that. I don't follow her. That I follow her, but I don't hit the notification button, so I don't know how the hell I got notified. But um, her show's cool. Some of those guys seem to be decent, and then a lot of them are a spectacle. Again, it's like Kevin Samuels. You get the spectacle, you get the special people. But I've seen her show live, and it is legitimate. She's just trying to make love connections, I guess. And some of those guys are ridiculous, just foolish. Like the one guy that was calling from jail, like that type of shit. It's great TV. She goes viral. I'm so glad in somebody, anybody not being an asshole and shitting on black women getting popping. Um, and I don't think all of the guys are terrible on her show, so it's okay. And the ones that are ridiculous are just making a fool of themselves anyway, just like the women that used to go on Kevin Samuel's show and say stupid stuff all the time. So I think we're seeing it from both sides, and her show's cool. I like her show. You know, um, I don't know. Maybe I get to collaborate with her one day. That'd be fun. It's a few people I even want to collaborate with because I don't respect everybody. I just don't. Some people I just don't respect. I don't mess with people I don't respect. Um, Somebody said Kevin and Tony are the best. It must be talking about Tony Gaskins. Yeah, I think I've not met that gentleman. I've not talked to him before, but He's very consistent. He's been doing this for probably longer than most of any other YouTube guys. And that's another one. Tony Gaskins, same thing. Kind of same style, not necessarily trying to entertain you or blow your socks off with controversy. His channel, hell, I got almost as many subscribers he got, and he's been doing this for twice as long. He's been doing this for so many more years, longer than me. But it takes so long for a person who's not trying to shock you with some appalling, crazy rhetoric, and not shucking and jiving, jumping up and down, dancing, trying to be funny. And like, if you're not clowning yourself or clowning black women, it's very difficult to make it in this space. And everybody has a podcast microphone now, so it's just it's really oversaturated, and the quality isn't rising to the top like it's supposed to. The algorithms are making sure of that. Um, um, Somebody said I like Kendra. She keeps it real. Yeah, I like Kendra too. She keeps it much more real than I think a lot of people are, and I think that her intention is still just again she's trying to help. She's not trying to be just another talking head. So I like her. I like talking to people and having live conversations, but I'm so lame on Instagram that shit, if I go live on Instagram, 50 people will show up. I just don't have enough activity. And so I'm just lame on Instagram. So I don't go live on Instagram because who the hell's going to be in there? I have 20,000 subscribers in YouTube, and Instagram does the same thing that YouTube and Facebook do. They don't really give you um, they don't really give you access to your whole audience. They give you 5%. And if that 5% likes you, then they give you another 5%. And if that 5% responds, they give you like 20%. They have these barriers to get your own audience. So all of your followers don't even be having, uh, they just don't be knowing you there. And so that's why like Kendra, she be having 6,000 people on the live, which is great. But she got a lot of followers that only have 6,000 there. But Instagram and they just have so many roadblocks to people just having organic traffic that from people who follow them. So, but I like Kendra. I think Kendra's cool. And one day, if I'm not lame on Instagram, then I'll go live on Instagram and have conversations with people. Maybe I'll go live on Instagram next Friday. We'll test it, but I think I'll get like 50 people on there because Instagram doesn't give me access to my audience that much. Um, mm, uh, Kev, the power and influence of a woman. That's powerful right there. I don't know where you're going with it, but I think that women have forgotten the power and the influence they have. Um, if you have forgotten, men do exactly whatever it takes to get in the company of a woman and to get the sexual access to a woman. So as much as we hear men are making the rules, men have the leverage, men are the prize. All these men are trying to get laid with women. They're not screwing each other. They're not slapping balls together. They're trying to get women. They're driving nice cars to get women. They're buying nice houses to get women. They're making a lot of money to get women. They're putting on a lot of cologne to get women. They're wearing the best clothes to get women. Right? They're training each other to be a man who gets women. In fact, their very masculinity hinges on a woman's vagina. Like they don't even feel like real men unless they can conquer women. These are the alphas. They are alpha because they control women. They have access to women. They lay down women. These are a bunch of men who swear up and down they're superior to women, but everything they do, all the content they make, and all the words that fall from their mouth have to do with either judging women, attracting women, sleeping with women, or conquering them in some way, besting them. Even men who hate women worship women. Women are the influence, they are the power. In fact, I believe in a matriarchal society would do us very well right now. Patriarchy is war, 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 kill, 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 money, like, just in a circle. So for me, I really do think that if women just would take advantage of the influence that even the worst men fall for. I think that we would be in a good position. We could get in a good position. And at the moment, studies have recently shown, and I've done a video about this already. I'll probably edit it and put it out tomorrow. We get 14 views because YouTube won't know what to do with it. But studies have shown that now men outnumber women on dating websites. 67% of dating websites um, uh, profiles are male profiles, which means that as much as we've been hearing about women being the majority, and it's been 60-40 split, it's not enough men, it's too many women, so much competition. Online, it's actually the opposite. Women are the minority. Women aren't on those sites. Men are having a sausage party and they're trying to figure out how to attract women. That's the absolute truth. It's backed by science and psychology experts who've been studying this stuff for years now. Women are the minority on dating websites, and so now you guys can decide what the standards are again, and we can swing the pendulum back into a healthy place where women are being respected and men are doing what it takes to be gentlemen and being leaders in their own communities and being leaders in their atmosphere in their homes. But women have to decide that they have standards. And as long as women are operating from a place of desperation, thinking that they're the majority, they're outnumbering all these men and trying to compete and catfight for all these lame ass guys out here. And all of them are sharing dick, trying to figure out how to make a guy with 3 babies mamas, a guy with 5 babies mamas, all of them tripping over guys with babies mamas. We're never going to get anywhere, and they're never going to get what they need, which is respect and honor in our community again. So if we want to do anything for ourselves and for the future generations, we need to take this opportunity right now that men are in a weakened state. They're reporting loneliness at much higher levels than women. Um, they're living long-term single lives, over 5 years single, at much higher rates than women at the moment. 25 to 55, these men are unsatiated romantically more often than women, and 67% of them are on dating apps to a lesser percentage of women. So I can tell you for a fact that women do have more leverage than they think they do. And so the power and the influence of a woman is rising again. But if you squander it by screwing every man that says hi to you, takes you on a date, buys you a steak, or tells you he has options and he's a high value man, then you will never be able to harness the balance that we used to have, or that we've wanted to have and needed to have for a long time in the dating atmosphere. So that's my word on power and balance. And thank you for the random comment with the space to do what I wanted with that. Kara Bob, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. YouTube didn't show me, but my wife sent it to me, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gina Martin, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. She says, "Hey Kev, any recommendations on where to meet a quality man? I feel like it's been a challenge lately. I do live in Vegas and don't go out much besides going to work. Also, I have no interest in trying online dating." Thanks, Kev.
Kevin, here is your reminder. Feed Noah.
I don't even know how to tell Alexa to be quiet. Alexa, shut up.
Kevin.
Did it work? It worked. All right, Alexa, shut up. Cool. So let me go back to this question. Hey Kev, any recommendations on where to meet a quality man? I feel like it's been a challenge lately. I do live in Vegas. I don't go out much besides going to work. Also have no interest in trying online dating. Okay, Gina, listen. They're not going to climb through your window. Okay? And if I've spoken to you before on the phone, I probably told you much the same. They're not going to climb through your window. He's not going to break into your house with his heart in his hand and a card and some flowers. You got to go outside if you're not going to go online. You got to go outside if you're not going to go online. So I don't know what you do for work, but if you're not able to fraternize and flirt and make connections at work, then you're going to have to go home, change from your work clothes, and then go out in your social clothes and meet people. I don't know where you meet a quality man. I think humans, individuals, can be of high quality or low quality. And as long as we all have feet and cars, we can find anyone anywhere. But you have to be anywhere to find someone. You have to be out and about. What I would consider, or what I would suggest you do, is what I tell all women who are having issues with the quality of man that they do encounter. When you see a man that you would pick, the first thing that women are looking for is to be attracted to a man. I know what every woman says. I don't care how a man look. I don't care how a man look. They all want to be attracted to a man. The period. Everybody wants to be attracted. So once you find a man that you're attracted to, then you can start there. And once you find the man you're attracted to, have a conversation. Start a conversation, an intellectual exchange, not a flirty exchange. Don't be cute. Just have an intellectual exchange. It could be about the weather. It could be about politics. It could be about the store you standing in. It could be about the gas prices that you're pumping your gas. It could literally be about everything, anything. But you have to be willing to have a conversation. And if you're not willing to have a conversation with a stranger, and you're not going out in social areas where people expect to meet and mingle, then he's not going to climb to your living room, especially if you're not on the dating site. So you have to go out and you have to make conversation with men wherever you find yourself, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's the gas station, whether that's the library, whether that's your job. And if you're at work and you meet a guy that you are particularly interested in, all you have to do is take the conversation from professional to personal, right? Not inappropriate, but personal. If you start talking about your life and your personal stuff, personal preferences and personal likes and dislikes and personal favorite shows and all of that type of stuff. If you make a business conversation personal, then the man is feels invited to ask you more personal and explore more personal conversations. And then if that works out, he's like, hey, listen, I know we talked about these other things. You're really cool. Can we talk after work? Right? Can we go to some coffee? So you can create opportunities, but you have to go be personable with the men that you select and the men that you think are good enough. And those men could be literally anywhere you're attracted to men, especially if you're not going to date online. So I hope that helps. But it's all about you being open to people. When you talk to a man and speak to him intellectually, you invite him to your energy, and that's what a man needs for permission to talk to you. Somebody says, I gotta go to the next one. Thank you for the 4.99 super chat. She says, I asked my boyfriend directly if he loves me. He responded, I have love for you. How do you interpret that? Um, I'm gonna get to you, Sanja, and thank you for your super chat too. She asked her boyfriend, does he love her personally? And he said, I have love for you. So the answer is no. He is not in love with you. He has love for you. That sounds similar to what I used to tell women when I was much younger. Actually, it's much better. I would say it's all love over here. Um, but somebody hit me with that love stuff and it was out of place. I always gave them some version of, hey, it's all love over here. Or, I got love for you. But I got love for you is what you tell the homie. It's what you tell someone you're not there yet for. Now, I'm not sure why he's in that place with you emotionally. I'm not sure how new it is. You could have been asking him for the first I love you, and he's just not in that place where he feels vulnerable enough or feels enough trust or feels safe enough. So I don't know enough about your relationship, but you interpret that as he's not there yet, but he cares about you more than other people. He has a friendly love for you, and you do have to have a friendly love for somebody to respect him. If you jump from nothing to romantic love, that's lust. That's not, you don't actually have love for that person. You have to love a person as a friend, as a human being, to respect them, to be loyal to them. You can't just love them as a romantic partner. That's how a lot of people ended up getting cheated on, and they have these serial cheater partners because that person went from nothing to I love you, and that love is lust. That's not true love. Um, so he maybe not there yet. He might not be in love, but he's potentially on the way. But if you've been with each other for a long time and he's saying that, then you're not. He's loved you at the capacity that he probably has to love. And so if you want to be loved and be desired more, that might not be where you need to be. So if it's a new relationship, that's okay. But if it's a old established relationship, then that's probably a sign that this is the best he has, and he's emotionally stunted and inhibited from loving you in the way that you might love him. Sorry if that's bad news. I don't know how long you've been with him. Sanja Teal, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. She says, I'm a seasoned I'm a seasoned glam mom who gets flack for not wanting to date men with small children. Am I wrong? Okay, you're a glam mom, so I'm imagining that's a pageant mom. And if you're a pageant mom and you don't want to date a man with small children, are you wrong? I can't tell you what's right or wrong for you. I can tell you that it's one of those things that it would just make a person scratch their head. I think that most of us intrinsically agree with this idea that you must provide that which you're asking for. You must be an example of that which you hope to attract to yourself, right? I can't say I want loyalty and I'm disloyal. We hear people do that all the time. I can't say I want financially stable and I'm doing bad and I'm living at my mama's house and working at the McDonald's, but part time because they won't hire me full time because they, what I'm saying, like I can't be fucked up and be talking about how I want somebody with their stuff together. You can't be an active and committed mother and then not want a man who is active and committed to his children. I understand you don't want to deal with a man having custody issues. You don't want to deal with a man having baby's mother issues. You are well within your rights to not prefer those things. But a man might not want to deal with your baby's father. A man might not want to play second class citizen to the child in the home himself. A man might want a woman to focus on him and focus on the relationship and be able um, to explore the world or whatever he thinks love should represent. So, to many men, you're not going to be able to meet them where they are. Maybe he wanted to take his child somewhere with your child, like his idea or picture of the perfect relationship with children in it may be different. So, I know you're not wrong. You can have whatever preference you want. Um, but it's like saying, I want somebody in shape, but I'm out of shape. I want somebody rich, but I'm poor. You can find it, somebody out there for you. Especially a lot of guys with kids, because most guys don't have kids. So it's a lot of guys with no kids who can prioritize your child and be a father figure to your child. So it's possible. So it's not wrong, but it's less understandable than most people would admit to you in your face. Oh, okay. Glam mom, grandmother. Oh, no. If you are seasoned grandmother, okay. My wife. I see you. I see you correcting me. So Sandra says she's a grandmother. I thought she said glam mom, like they call those, like that's pageant mom. I thought you were talking about pageant mom. If you're a grandmother and you don't have small children of your own, then no, it doesn't make sense for you to be trying to. If you've done your thing, you've already raised your kids. That's absolutely wonderful, and you've done your job. So no, you're not wrong for not wanting to do that all over again. Absolutely, you want a man with kids who are established, who are grown, who are out of college, who may have their own small kids, but they're not his kids. They're not his responsibility. No, you want to enjoy your time. You want to, live life to the fullest. You put the work in. You're on vacation from all of those responsibilities. You retired from those responsibilities. Uh, so no, it's absolutely necessary that you find somebody that's on par with you. So no, my first premise to answer your question was wrong. That context was glam mom, and glam mom to me is like a pageant mom. Um, as a grandmother who's done her job, you're done with kids. No, you're not wrong. You're perfectly well within your rights to not want to date a guy with kids. Mm, let me see. Um, somebody said, I don't know where y'all going with that. I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's to my sausage party. I know I said it a couple times, but we're gonna go and leave that one there. Um, does it look bad for a woman to go to bars alone? I'm not a person who drinks. So the bar is not my scene. When I see people at the bar, as a person who doesn't drink on a regular basis, I don't know why anybody would want to hang out at a bar. It smells like cigarettes and beer. And if I do drink, I don't want to drink beer. I'm all bougie. In fact, I'm more likely to drink some of that Cosmopolitan Sex on the Beach pina colada. It's got to be fruity and taste like Kool-Aid for me to even really be dealing with it. I think I tried a vodka and ginger ale once. That was kind of tasty. I'm literally a novice, man. I might drink some champagne or something, but I'm not that guy. So bars are weird places to me. Bars aren't places where I'm completely comfortable. I don't like all the smoke. I think that there's a sad, dark, heavy energy in a lot of bars. I like light, uh, area rooms. Like look just behind me. Like I like it bright. I don't like no dark ass bar. And when a girl goes to a dark ass bar, the times I've been in it, because my brothers like to go to bars and all kind of places to hang out and chill, and I will go with my brother. Time I've been in the bar, I've not felt like, oh yeah, I'd like to get to know her. She's in here by herself. I always wonder what the hell a woman's doing by herself in a place full of a bunch of men who are going to be intoxicated and potentially more dangerous than normal. Um, but if you like to drink, then you're going to find somebody who probably is of a like mind, who likes to drink, and you could probably have a great time drinking with someone if you're not, out of control with it and you're not battling alcoholism. So I don't know if it looks bad, but as a non-drinker and a non-bar person, me personally, I always a little bit when I've seen women by themselves, I've always been like, "What the fuck is she doing here by herself?" That doesn't make sense. Is she trying to get picked up? She going home by alone? What if she gets followed out? I need a woman to be more about her safety. And when I see you not about your safety, that looks bad. And so maybe you're carrying a gun, maybe you got the knife, maybe you're on top of that. But I need to know that you're on top of your safety. And by yourself at a bar, just being beautiful, I'm not sure. I'd have to sit down and talk to you. Maybe I would in those circumstances, but it's not the greatest look. Maria Washington, thank you so much for your 4.99 super chat. Um, she says, "How can you get to know someone and ask questions without coming off as nosy? I was told that no dude likes that, and that questions are for parents." You left that comment on a video, and I actually have it in my list of videos to record. So I haven't actually recorded that video, but um, I can answer a question. I can do a version of an answer here. I haven't sat with that idea yet, but um, when a person is telling you that you coming off as nosy, they don't want you answering questions, save questions for parents or ask kids questions. When he's doing anything other than answering the damn questions, when he's minimizing your curiosity to get to know him, which is what you're supposed to be on a date for, is to get to know someone. You're supposed to be on the phone getting to know someone. If you're text messaging, it's a stupid ass piss poor thing to do to get to know somebody. But if you are, the point is still, again, to get familiar, gain information, get to know people. Um, People who are non-participative, if that's a word, non-participative, guys who refuse to answer the damn questions and refuse to participate in in the obvious exchange of information that you give to a new person. Those types of men, just don't bother with them. Those are the same types of men who tell their women, "I don't answer questions from women." A man don't have to answer to no woman. They always have some. They always move the needle to some kind of supremacy. Why they can't be questioned? Why they can't be asked anything? Why they can't be required to be transparent? I don't deal with those types of people. It's not worth it. Those men generally don't respect women, the voice of a woman, partnership. They think that everything that you might ask them to do, everything you might request of them is some kind of hit to their masculinity or to their supremacy. They're so focused on leverage and power that they can't even be a partner because all they care about is making sure that they're in charge or that they're leading or that they're independent from you and that they're not taking orders. Like they're just so obsessed with leverage that they can't really be of any good use to a partner. So when a man's telling you he don't answer questions, you're nosy, all of that stuff, like I get what he's doing. He's trying to look strong. He's trying to show you he's alpha. He's trying to give you the air of fear and anxiety around him because women want to be with an alpha man. That concept, they want to be with a man's man, and so it makes some women feel more feminine to be with a man who's not cooperative in conversation and in general. But I'm gonna be honest, while it makes you feel more like a woman and makes you feel more feminine, and he's can impress you with how masculine he is. Damn, I lost that super chat. I need to grab that. Pretty girl, can you find that super chat that I just lost? I took too long to answer this question. Um, while that might make you feel more like a woman, it was a $5 super chat that just disappeared. But I got you. I'm gonna get your super chat. It's not appropriate to date a man who can't be bothered to answer your questions. Never in life. Amy Sue, I got you. I found it. Never in life should you be wasting your time going on a second date or having another phone call with a man who can't be bothered to share information because he thinks it's beneath him. Fuck all of that. So that's how I feel about that. Sorry uh, for the whatever. Uh, Again, I ain't got it tonight. I'm not in a diplomatic place tonight. So I'm gonna talk how I talk tonight. Amy Sue, thank you so much for your patience, and I hope that helps. Amy Sue, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your $5 super chat. She says, "Is it possible for a woman in her early 40s who wants kids to find a husband who also wants kids at that age or older?" Yeah, absolutely. It's possible. You're gonna be busy because you really have to date. Like you legitimately have to be serious about dating. Too often we don't want to do the work. We're tired. We're stuck somewhere between wanting to sit down and give up and wanting to just wait on God and let it come to us. You're going to have to be intentional about dating if you're looking for somebody who wants kids at that age who already doesn't have kids. Now, unfortunately enough, um, a lot of people at that age have already decided that they don't want kids. But I've known a lot of guys. Me personally, Kevin, I've known personally a lot of guys to get to 40, not have any kids, and want kids more than anything in the world. Feel like they missed out. Um, their wife left them when they were trying, or like a lot of different stuff has happened to a lot of men who get to that age, and instead of getting a motorcycle for a midlife crisis, they realize, man, all I want to do is just pass my seed on. I want to grow. I want to grow someone else. I want to build into somebody what should have been built into me. I want a child. Like a lot of guys get to 40 and start thinking, damn, I missed it. I was having all the fun, but I didn't leave a legacy. Like it means something to some of these guys. So yes, there are men who will have kids past 40, don't mind it at all. Um, they're difficult to find because you still got to find a man that's wants a family, believes in marriage, believes in companionship, partnership, has his shit together, isn't already screwing everybody in the world, um, isn't damaged, mentally stable. Like there's a lot of boxes you need to check off. But if you're searching for love, and the necessities and the boxes aren't necessarily that ridiculous and super strict. He just has to be a great person with something to offer a child who's also in search for love, who you can find yourself to be attracted to or grow an attraction for. It is possible. So don't give up, don't lose hope. It's not over until it's over. And for me, it's almost never over. I've had too many clients. I've seen this happen far too many times where a client is talking to me and they're 41, they're about to have a nervous breakdown, feeling like, man, I will never find somebody and who just wants what I want, wants a family. Hell, one of my longest clients, who's in her 40s, very beautiful, very intelligent, extremely smart, gifted mind. Um, I worked with her on and off for about 2 years. Is just Text me last week saying she's getting married, um, and we've been at this for a while. Her working on her own personal stuff, her working through, numerous guys she were dating, whether it be getting away from some guys or giving certain guys attention, and focusing more on these relationships and stuff. She's done the work, and it took a while, but she can still have everything she wants. She still has an opportunity to have everything, and she didn't think she would ever have it. And she's past 40, but she's still ripe and still prime and still beautiful and still she's still available to it all. And looks like she's already set a date. Like things are going for her, and she's just this month's success story. So I feel like don't count yourself out, but you just have to be very strategic about what counts in love and what really matters. It's not the time to be chasing the quote unquote high value man. It's the time to be chasing a high quality man, and that exists just like you exist. That man, your equal and opposite, exists. Um, so I hope that helps. Yeah, that was it. Pretty girl, got you. I got 8 minutes, and I'm gonna get off of here in 8 minutes, y'all. 8 minutes. I'm gonna get off of here at 11 o'clock. I wanted to jump on early so I could get off early, so I could just have time to chill, probably take a mini nap, watch some TV, you know, stay up to 5 o'clock, do all of those things I normally do on the weekend. Um, YS says I go to local bars and have a chat and drink, but will never pick up somebody nor take them seriously or allow myself to get pissed. Well, that's good. So you're protecting yourself. You're being very careful. Um, you can take somebody seriously. You are at the bar drinking alone. Someone who's a valuable person can do the same, but you can't have one of those magical nights that starts at a bar. That's just foolish. Um, but have a chat, have a drink, and then if you meet somebody at a bar and you really enjoy their chat or their drink, then meet them the next morning for coffee. But take your ass home alone and go to bed, and meet them the next morning for coffee or another morning for coffee. But don't meet at a bar and then meet at don't do the whole bar enchantment thing. If a guy is not interesting when you're stone cold sober and just woke up, then he's not going to be interesting in life when you have to go home to him. Um, mhm. Let me go down here. Let me see. Um, People romanticize having children way too much. That is a good point. But people aren't necessarily always romanticizing children as much as they want their bloodline. That like they want a portion of them to live on. Sometimes the finality of death starts to bother you after you've truly lived, and you realize, damn, there's nothing after me. I'm it for my bloodline. That bothers some people. But yeah, parenthood is hard. It is hard and it's unpredictable. And some people have a great experience with parenthood and nothing particularly special or different happens. And other people, their whole life becomes their children because of behavioral issues or emotional issues or special needs or health issues. So parenthood is a whole thing. It's not just cute babies and cute clothes. Um, and I'm sure I'm among 245 people who already know that, but MT made the point, and I think it was a great point. Um, I got 5 minutes. We get off at 11 o'clock. It's 10:55, y'all. What does it mean when a guy says he doesn't deserve you, but he's glad you're in his life? It means he's either done a lot of dirt in his past or he's doing a lot of dirt right now on you. And it generally means he's cheating on you at the moment. When a man says he doesn't deserve you, and he keeps making that point, not that he says it like if you do something nice to him, like you get him some coffee or you get him some soup or you rub his feet or you give him some top or something, and he's like, man, I don't deserve you, you're so wonderful. That's just a compliment to you. That might be a figure of speech. But if he's just saying you deserve better, I don't deserve you, and he's persistent on that point, and it's not in compliment to you, it's in degradation of himself, then he knows something you don't know about his conduct when you're away. So, depending on how much he says he doesn't deserve you and how often he brings that point up, he could be trying to warn you or prepare you for uh, what he's been doing and him getting caught. So it could be a great many things, I suppose. Um, mm, how long into dating a guy should I let him know I can't have children? I think that's either first date or second date conversation. You can share that informationally and not emotionally, because like you may be emotional about that. It might be something that you don't want to share. It might be a little bit too deep, too complicated a story. But like when you don't want to be vulnerable, you can still share pertinent information and deep information, but you share it informationally. When I don't want to be vulnerable, I can share a tragic story or something that would otherwise make me emotional. If I share like I'm sharing data, numbers, math, science, um, a different portion of my personality shares the information. Um, you can just tell a guy, if he asks about kids on the first date, well, zero, because I can't have any kids, and we'll get to that later. What about you? Like you can kind of divert away from the reasoning, the why, the ugly truths, the difficult conversation of it all, and just share the information briefly. Um, so that's what I would try to do. But if you want to share that information, it's up to you or when you can share because it's your medical business. But it's appropriate to tell a person, early on, maybe second date, if not first date. You don't have to do a first date, and it just depends on the type of conversations you're having too. If you're having surface level conversations, then that's not a first date thing. But if you're talking about everything under the sun, your childhood, your upbringing, your abused auntie, like all this type of stuff, you probably want to share it because it feels like it was omitted at that point. One more, question. Somebody was some porn people was in here. I don't know how them poor people get in there. YouTube doesn't tell my subscribers that I'm live or that I have a video, but porn people pop up and they know that I'm live or I got a video, so they can spam my comment section. It's ridiculous. Um, one more question. Um, Somebody said I asked why his last relationship didn't work out, and someone said that's too personal. I feel like that's an appropriate question to ask. Yeah, I think that it's an appropriate question to ask because you have to figure out what his mindset is around his own failure in that relationship. You also get to observe what he wants you to think of him based on his answer. You can see people trying to give you the perfect answer and observe them in real time, trying to mold your opinion of them. That is a very valuable space to be in. To look like an observer of one thing and be really observing another thing. Sometimes it's not the question you ask, it's the question they answer, right? So you might ask a guy, why didn't your last relationship work out? And he goes on a tangent about how he's found himself and evolved and changed and grown as a person. And you're like, oh, so you fucked up that relationship because you're trying to convince me you're a different person, even though I don't need convincing because I wasn't there. You're trying to convince me that you're different. This is some convincing that she would have needed. Oh, got it. Right. So, like, there's so much value in the why your old relationship didn't work out conversation because you can watch a person trying to manipulate your thought of them. You can watch a person skirt responsibility and pretend they had nothing to do with it. You can watch a person play the blame game or the victim game. It gives you so much insight on who they are and who you might be dealing with. And it has nothing to do with the reason that they say they broke up, but everything to do with the display of self that you get from them trying to answer that question in a way that impresses you. It's valuable. So, please keep asking that question. If a person don't want to answer it, they don't want to answer it. Cool. You can make your decision on them, but please keep answering that question. Um, late super chat. Lisa Bradford, thank you so much. She just said, I just wanted to show a little support. Love. I appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you so much. That's my time, y'all. I'm probably gonna need like a junior nap because I'm crashing. I did a few calls today, had a few client calls. If you need coaching, go to girltalkwithguys.com. I do half hour videos, hour long videos, and email advice, and also 3 month program packages for people who need consistent coaches. It consists of 6 calls and unlimited text messages throughout the 3 month period that you're doing your 3 month program. So if you're interested in that or coaching one at a time, one session at a time, you can go to girltalkwithguys.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for super chatting. Thank you for super thanking. A lot of people have been hitting a super thanks button. That's like a tip on the video. I really appreciate those too. I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. I'll get with y'all later.